Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Nothing specific here, just came out for a ride and just want to give my impressions on the Royal Enfield Himalayan after owning the bike for so many months. All in all, I'm very pleased with the bike. Haven't had any issue. Only thing that is quite annoying is having the battery go dead on me every time I want to go for a ride. So to remedy that issue, I actually installed this little cable here, which I hooked up directly to the battery, and I use that to recharge the battery whenever it goes dead on me. Drop that back in there, it's a little dusty. And let's get this back on. So that, there it goes, it clips back there. So you push that in first. And then you drop the front. So those that's the major issue I've had with the bike. My tank still pressures up. I just added gas, so if I try to open it, oops, it did not do it now. But when you try to open it, when I went to the gas station, it was all pressured up. I don't know where that's coming from. Yeah, the bike has been pretty good. I used to have an oil leak somewhere around here. I think it was coming from the head gasket. I tightened that and that and that and that. They were rather loose. So check your bikes, guys. Once I had those tightened up, then the leak stopped. There's probably some kind of sensor that goes there. I'm just noticing that now. The engine is kind of a little bit dirty. I left the bike outside and without a covering for a while, and you can see some of the effects of the sun. It's already leaving that little blemish on there. But the good thing is I didn't see any rust spots. These are called because I dropped the bike, so you can see a little rust on there. But the bike itself, nothing major wrong. It's held up pretty good. The one thing I'll watch out for if I go to wash the bike is not to use a power washer. If you use a pressure washer, to be very careful and go very light on the detergent. That way you don't wash off all the oils. Even the chain will start rusting if you wash off all the lubricants. It has sealed rollers. Those rollers are all sealed and internally lubricated. But you don't want to wash off and use a very powerful detergent, because then that takes off the internal oiling that you have in there. Yeah, those are the major things I wanted to talk about. Quite pleased with the bike. Did some changes to the mirror. There's 2 screws underneath. I tightened those and then also secured these. But at highway speeds, you still get a little bit of vibration on the mirror. It's not holding very stable like some people report that they have on the GS. Only modifications I've done, I did the throttle hold right there, and that comes in very handy, because without that, let's say you're going 40 miles 50 miles an hour, your right hand becomes unusable. But once I install that, I can take off my right hand from the handlebar and still get to rest it a little bit. The second thing I did was I installed the handlebar risers and those came from, I believe they came from India, but the shipping was really quick, and I got them here in a timely fashion. It changes the riding position, and I think I am much more comfortable right now with the handlebar risers. While I was doing that, I saw they had drilled a hole here just to install that little plastic cable holder, which I thought was kind of an overkill. I wouldn't go drilling something critical like the handlebar, but I guess the engineers know better. They know best what they're doing. But I found it kind of a bit disconcerting that someone would drill on the handlebar, and I think that area there would take a lot of stress. These areas here and there, well, that's where they decided to drill and put the cable holder. And the last thing I've done so far is I put this little front mud guard, splash guard riser. Gives me an additional about 1.5 inches of clearance. So if I'm riding on muddy terrain, I don't have the mud accumulating between the tire and the mud guard. So all in all, the bike is holding up pretty good. It's kind of dirty right now, but like they say, hey, if you ain't broke, don't fix it. I used to have massive gas leaks, and I think I saw on one of the Indian forums where they advised not to fill the tank all the way to the top. So last time I had the bike stored, it was about halfway full, and I didn't have any problems. Also, and this is just a general thought, for the first service, I think it's oil change at about 300 to 500 miles, and then checking your valves. Well, for me, I did not do that. I have the equipment, but I haven't done it. The bike runs great. It doesn't make any funny noises, and most of the reviews I see, people do the checks and the valves are okay. Those without much experience, they go there to do the checks and they end up messing their bikes. So I decided I would just keep riding my bike. If I get to about 3,000, 4,000 miles, then I might consider doing the valve check myself and getting the valves back in spec. Otherwise, if the bike is running great, I ain't gonna mess with it. The one other mod I am considering doing is changing the whole headlight housing to get an LED headlight housing. I think one of the problems I get with this bike is this front headlight bulb is very powerful, and as soon as you put the key in the ignition and turn it on, the bulb comes on, and if you put your hand there, you actually feel the heat from the bulb. So my thoughts are, you have that bulb which is always on, and then you have the tail light always on. So I'm thinking those burn up a lot of juice, and I'm considering changing the front to LED, like I said, and also the rear and the side indicator light, changing all of those to LED. That way the reserve I have in the battery goes a longer way. Yeah, that's all what I had to share with you guys. One other thing which I should say is I changed the position of the windshield, as you can see. So I made it to sit quite upright, and the problem I ran into is that it rubs on here. You can see where it's chafing already, and when you start getting to high speed or bumpy roads, then it gets really noisy and annoying. It makes a very uncomfortable clatter, as if something is about to break off or fall off. So that's something you might want to consider. I don't know if there's a nice way I can use a wheel and reduce the lower part of the windshield. That's something I might consider doing. Yeah, apart from that, yeah, the unit has been pretty good to me, and I'm very satisfied with it. Also like the design and shape of that tank protector. The newer ones, I'm not such a fan of them. I really love this one. So that's a quick overview of the bike after having it for going to close to a year now. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video. Is it close to a year? Or maybe it's more than a year? I'm not sure. Anyways, I'll see you guys on the next video, and thanks for watching. Let's fire these up.